Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Queer There Everywhere. My name is Glitzy von Jagger, and today on the couch I have a very, very special guest. She has been in The Fall. She has been in Holby City. She's currently starring in Hope Street. She's a sound facilitator, a healing facilitator. More magic, right? Also starred on Broadway. She is an absolute legend, an icon. I love her very, very much. Before the interview starts, like, comment, subscribe, baby, because I have got on my couch the one, the only, you're welcome, Niamh McGrady! Woo! Sorry about that, but that was awful on the mic. Hi, how are you?
Oh, thank you. It's lovely to be here and see your beautiful face.
This old thing, or just a bit of chapstick and mascara, darling.
That's all you need, baby.
Yeah, just rolled out of bed, you know. How are you?
I'm really good. I'm delighted to be in London on this beautiful rainbow-coloured sofa.
On this rainbow-coloured sofa. And we used to live together, didn't we, in London?
You burst into my life. Oh, how you burst into my life, coming to view a room in my house many, many years ago, and my life changed for the better.
Me too.
You were a ray of sunshine for me in my darkest days, days when I couldn't get out of bed. You were like, babes, yoga, now. And your kindness and your joy and everything about you. I loved it. I loved living with you, and I missed you so much.
I miss you so much. And all the same back. I was obsessed with you from the moment I met you. You are just such a joy. You're so magical, so kind, so lovely, so funny, so warm, so patient, so calm, so cool, so talented, so gorgeous.
Lies. It's lies.
Not, baby. I don't say lies. Yeah. And how's everything going? How's your glittering, fabulous acting career?
So, yeah, we've just done 4 seasons of Hope Street.
Yes. You're so good. You're so funny.
I'm living my acting dream, because when I was growing up watching Coronation Street and, Bet Lynch behind the bar, I sort of made a mental note of the leopard print and everything. She was so fierce. I was like, one day I'm going to play a pub landlady. And now indeed I do, playing Nicole Devine, and she's eccentric. Next level.
Such a great character.
Yeah, I love her.
So calm.
She's
fabulous.
so calm. I love her so much. I love playing her so much. And I get to work with the amazing Aaron McCusker, who plays the Clint.
It's quite dishy.
It's a bit of a dish, yeah. And oh my gosh, the fun we have behind that bar. It's just a joy. I have actually said, get out of my pub to my husband. We broke up for a little while, but then we got back together. And then, who she gets pregnant, who's the daddy? It's just, the storylines are just such a hoot. But she's at heart, she's a very genuine, very vulnerable character, actually.
Yeah.
She's an only child. She lost her mum and dad young, and she kind of has all of this love and sort of nowhere to really channel it. So it's just eccentric and kind of bonkers and full of designer clothes and handbags. Yeah.
So, have you got to keep anything? Or?
I've kept a couple of things along the line, but then I think I see these things and I go, oh, I want this, and then I take it home, and then it just sits in my wardrobe, because I am not Nicole. I'm running around and I'm running around DMs or Crocs, things that Nicole would vomit at the sight of. So they're there as my little kind of homage to her. A little piece of her lives in my wardrobe, but unfortunately,
You are very different. Where have you drawn your inspiration for her, like the world building of her character and her stories?
I think we all know a Nicole or two, don't we? She's a mixture of quite a few people, really. She's just, and she's the opposite of me. We have our similarities, but she's so out there. I mean, I wish I was a millionaire and had inherited lots of land. She's Hope Street is set in a town called Port Devine. Nicole is Nicole Devine. So kind of these are like her kind of ancestral lands. So she feels a little bit aristocratic.
Yeah.
So yeah, she just draws. I think she's that friend that everybody wants to confide in.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's a little bit of everybody. There's a bit of my mum in there.
Is that?
Yeah, and then I'm quite like my mum in a lot of ways. So then I'm like, oh well, maybe it is. Maybe she is. Maybe she's just a glamorous version of me.
I mean, I was watching her and I was like, I saw a bit of me in her, I'm not going to lie. And I was like, did you take any inspiration? Not to like make it all that mean. I mean, like, look at me. You're welcome. But yeah, I mean...
There's an absolutely full of glitzy in there. Of course there is.
What's the schedule like?
Just in the lashes, babe.
Burbs. What's the schedule like with like learning the scripts? Because I know, you know, soaps, it's...
TV is always kind of last minute. There's always changes. You just have to be quick, you have to be flexible, and you have to be on the ball. Bottom line, it waits for no man. You don't have time to sit. The thing is, the joy when you're playing a recurring character in something is that you know who the person is.
Yeah.
You don't, you know, you've already done the work. So really you can get the lines last minute and go, yeah, go.
Yeah.
Because you know who they are. I never feel Nicole on the cellular level. So I don't have to sit and go, how's she going to react here? It's like, bang. It's instant. It's instant. It's like flicking a switch and channeling something. So yeah, you just got to be, you've got to be flexible. You just have to be.
Has she taught you anything, Nicole?
I wish I could say yes. I wish I could say she's made me look after my skin and hair better, maybe do my nails, but...
Oh, you're gorgeous.
Oh, has she taught me anything? I don't know, maybe I need to sit with that. I think I've taken a little bit from all of my characters over the years. And I think really there's been a lot of different aspects of my personality in different characters that I've played. Like in The Fall, I feel like the absolute polar opposite of Nicole.
Amazing in The Fall.
But I think the character of Farrington was someone who was not, you know, Nicole is someone who has no filter and has got no sort of self-awareness, whereas Farrington was extremely over anxious and extremely sort of hyper self-aware and was kind of closeted also, you know, so she was kind of much more introverted, like non-glamorous, obviously working in a police kind of very different environment. But yeah, there's a side of me that is and has always been terrified of life and anxious and afraid of saying the wrong thing and afraid of putting my foot in it, or like the reason that something terrible has gone wrong. Those kind of anxious thoughts. And Farrington was really that for me. She was the anxiety side of my personality,
right,
on screen.
Yeah.
Nicole is very much the extrovert part of my personality on screen.
Yeah.
So really, they're all just different flavours of moi.
Yeah.
Because we are all multiple flavours of everything, aren't we?
I love that. What's the best advice you've been given as an actress?
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Trust me, if you're watching this and you're in drama school and people are getting signed up to agents and you think the ship is sailing for you, don't sweat. It's a marathon, not a sprint. You know, I'm in this game. I graduated in 2004. It's 2025 and I'm still in this game. And that feels like a huge achievement.
It is a huge achievement.
I'm still acting professionally 21 years later. It's sticking it out.
It's amazing.
That's it. That's my only advice. You're going to have vast amount, hopefully not, but I have had vast amount of time in the desert thinking, is the phone ever going to ring again? And then you think, right, you know, maybe it's over for me. Maybe I need to like do something else, which is kind of why the healing and the sound healing kind of all came to fruition, even though I've been spiritual since the get-go. It kind of became more to the forefront because it was a way to sustain my own mental health in those dry periods. But then it became a way of actually, well, this is the way to support myself in the dry periods as well.
And you're so good at it.
Oh, babe. Thank you.
Because it's so authentic, because it's who you are. And
well, I've lived. A healer can only take you as far as they've come themselves. So, you know, and you and I both know, you and I have both journeyed very far.
Yes.
From the shadow into the light and having to shine that light and embracing your shadow and all of that is because I've got no time for love and light. You know, yes, there is light, but it's about embracing and sitting with the dark, difficult parts of ourselves and integrating that fully. And then you can hold people's hand as they make the same journey. Because you're not a healer. Nobody's a healer. You're taking space, creating space for other people to do the work themselves.
Yeah.
That's all it is. So
yeah. And it's such an honour. People
show up for healing and it's really humbling. Really, really humbling. Really because there's people come to me and I don't know what their story is. I don't know. I've no idea. I don't run the kind of spaces where I ask people to share. I don't.
Yeah.
But if people do share with me afterwards the kind of things that they're dealing with, it's just like, holy shit, well done you for just getting yourself into that space and onto that mat, because that's the hardest thing. As I know, as you know, if you're in the floods of depression, it's like a paralysis. You can't get out of bed. You can't. The basic things become so monumental. Getting into the shower, putting on a face of makeup, you know, take all day.
Relatable.
All relatable, babe.
Relatable content.
So, you know, I have the utmost respect for anybody who puts the trust in me to come and sit with me in a space of healing and meditation or sound.
Can you talk people who don't know about sound healing, how it works, the instruments that you use? So you've got beautiful crystal bowls.
I went all out on my crystal bowls. I know, I couldn't help myself. So I initially started as a healer, training in Reiki initially. So there's an element of channeling, sort of healing energy, regardless. And then, so I work with crystal bowls, but really, we are sound. You are sound. I am sound. Our voices create sound. I like these days to work a lot with chanting and getting people to step into their own voices.
Nice.
Because that is, you know, in a way, if you go to a sound healing or something, it's passive. So that's great for when you need that. But I want people to feel empowered that they themselves can be the sound. They themselves can be the instigator of change in their own lives. They don't have to hand that power over to anybody else.
Yeah.
So the bowls, the frequencies, you know, they can work with the different energy centers in the body, the frequencies, you know, your body's receiving it on a cellular level. It's like a realignment, a clearing. And there's so much science. I mean, I could sit and blather on for hours about frequency. I mean, everything is sound and frequency, ultrasounds, like there's all sorts of new cutting edge stuff where, like, you know, they're blasting cancer cells with particular frequencies. Animals, cats purr at the same frequency that your bones heal at. So everything, we're absorbing frequency from everywhere, from nature, from each other's voices. You know, your babies responding to their mother's voices. Yeah. Everything is sound. We are sound. But yeah, at the minute, I'm really passionate about the voice. Yeah. I mean, I'm an actor. Of course I'm passionate about the voice. And it took me so long to trust my own voice. Yeah. So that journey I've really been on. You know, I was raised during the Troubles in Northern Ireland. There's literally a television show called Say Nothing, because that's how we were raised.
Right.
Zip it. The slips cost lives. You know, do not, you know, gossip is the, you know, it's just say nothing, silence. So all of that was really, really repressed in me, and took, even in drama school and even in my early days as an actor, I really, stepping into that trust and confidence just in my own voice. Even having a different accent. You know, we were studying Shakespeare, and people would go, "What ho, Malvolio?" And I'd be like, "What ho, Malvolio?" It didn't sound right in my accent. And since then, in the last 20 years, there's been a great reclamation of all accents. Yes. Shakespeare is for all accents. The regions do exist, darling. The North is a place.
Oh, that's astronaut.
Wait for you.
Where the Shake away.
I know, yeah. So there's a lot coming together in that kind of work for me. But yes, I'm just passionate about healing, and healing in a community sense. We can't, you know, healing individually is good. Healing in community is better.
Yes.
For community, for our sense of community, to know that we're not alone. Yeah. And to, you know, when we heal ourselves, it ripples out and we start to heal the world around us.
Amen to that, Mora. Yes.
There you go. She's on her soapbox ranting about healing.
Oh, you're not at all.
But it's also kind of activism. You know, you can't heal. It's all very well to go the self. Yes, that's great. But we're in a climate crisis. You know, the world is tipping terrifyingly towards fascism recently. We can't stand by and be inactive. Yeah. And that's what I mean when I say about, you know, we can't sit. There's no time for love and light. Yeah. There's no time. No. We have to look at the dark. We have to look this square in the fucking eye and go, no, we're better than that.
Yes.
Visualize the better world that we want to live in. You know, with rights for everyone and peace for everyone and safety for everyone, and work towards it. Rights for everyone, peace for everyone, safety for everyone. Visualize it, see it, and that's what we have to work towards on all levels.
Yeah. Freedom, autonomy,
love,
bodily
rights,
all of it. Yeah, and you were sharing some beautiful, beautiful Gaelic wisdom last night when I was chatting to you. Yeah, some gorgeous things, and you know, I love just how much of a proud Irish woman you are. It's like, so I love when you bring out all the magic. He was telling me about the Aboriginals and the Gaelic and how they have a lot of similar words and the song lines and how they learn from nature.
Yeah, so there's I relocated back to Ireland about nearly 4 years ago, and you know, it's interesting this because before that I'd been working with a life coach here, a really good one, and I you know, she works with like, you know, your passions and things like that, and we'd really distilled what I wanted to manifest down into like just a few things. One of those things was to reconnect with my Celtic spirituality. At that time I had no intention of moving back to Ireland, but boom, within 6 months I'd lived back in Ireland. And boom, I was back to the land, and now living there with all of my years of healing experience behind me, it was like a whole new beginning. And so there's something happening in Ireland right now. There's really like an awakening. You know, I used to spend my time in England here, like going to, you know, Stonehenge for solstice and kinds like Glastonbury and things like that. And I thought, where is this in Ireland? Is this in Ireland? We have such an incredible spiritual legacy from the Neolithic to the Christian and what have you. And we've never lost the sense of the magic, the fairies, you know, the fairy thorns, you know, the kind of Christianity and the paganism have coexisted in Ireland this whole time.
Yeah.
And so I was like, what am I going to do? I'm in Ireland now. What am I going to do? Summer solstice. So there's been a real kind of journey of re-immersing myself in that world. And at the same time of me looking for it, it is also growing in the land. So there's a writer, an Irish folklorist called Manchán McGann, and he's just amazing. And he travelled to Australia and spent some time with the Aboriginal communities. And it's all about Ireland having a oral tradition, stories about the land and the myths of the land. And he kind of put two and two together that the Aboriginal way of like songlines about, you know, that's an unbroken history for 50,000 years. That their stories and their mythology is all in the land, in the songs, and the songs to take them to maybe watering holes or whatever place journeys of pilgrimage or whatever that people would have had to do. Basically, the geological features of the land and everything are in the stories, sometimes represented by kind of deities or what have you. But this existed in Ireland as well. So by looking at other cultures, we're able to piece back together what used to exist in Ireland before colonialism and famine, stroke, genocide completely nearly eradicated the language, and certainly did a lot to eradicate population and a lot of the stories and myth and magic with it. But like there's definitely the population of Ireland has still never recovered from the famine. Did you know that?
No.
So the other thing I work with in healing as well is that you're carrying 5 generations of your family field with you.
Generational trauma.
So that's still living through, you know. 5 generations takes me certainly back to that time.
Yeah.
Being the youngest of my dad, who was the youngest of his dad, you know. So that it kind of comes back. So I know in other Indigenous cultures, it's 7 generations back and 7 generations forward when you heal. But there's just so much happening in Ireland right now as a kind of like a spiritual awakening. But it's an awakening that's not just about connection to the divine. It's about connection to the earth and the earth as divine. Because the earth is divine, and that's what we've forgotten, that the more we pillage the earth, the more we suffer. You know, so we have to remember that she is mother.
Yeah. And your mother as well, aren't you? Yeah.
Nice segue. Oh my god,
he's gorgeous.
Oh, my little boy. Yeah, he's fabulous.
He's so cute.
He's pure joy.
Yeah,
he's fab.
What's been your favourite thing about motherhood, and what surprised you?
That each stage of motherhood is my new favourite stage. It's true. He's so engaged. He's so curious, and he's so engaged in everything. Children really teach you how to be present. You know, you can't. They see everything. They're too smart.
Yeah, right.
They're too smart for their own good. Yeah, you can't. There's no you know, mummy,
Mhm.
and mummy. Yes, what is it? Mummy, are you my best friend?
Yeah.
Yes, I am. And you just want to spend every minute just gazing into their little eyes. The reality is also that you're tired and you're busy and, you know, the child's having a tantrum before you've got to be somewhere at a certain time. A lot of it's quite stressful, but it's just, and I feel like an old mother, and I'm 42, he's 3, like sometimes getting up off the floors is a struggle, and I go, I wish I'd done this 20 years ago when I was fit for it. But I think the joy is that I'm actually just really, really ready for it now.
Yeah.
And I'm a much calmer, much more like peaceful, more understanding, more worldly, wiser human than I would have been at any other time. So I think he's getting the best of me.
Love that.
Certainly.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Thank you.
I love you.
Thank you. And he's a little redhead, which I'm sorry, is just everything.
Yeah, I mean, he's so gorgeous.
He's beautiful. He should be modelling.
I know I was going to say we're going to put him in the
He should be modelling, but I don't think he's the personality for that, because he's so in his feelings all the time, and I can't get him to wear anything cute that he doesn't want to wear. He's very, very, and has always, from he was super, super, super tiny. Like, at no point have I ever been able to just say, hey, wear this. No.
How was Broadway?
Darling.
The gays will, like, if I don't mention that she was on Broadway.
I came back from that with no money.
Yeah.
It was brilliant pay. I'm not going to lie. I was 25. I was on Broadway. I was earning the most money I'd ever earned in my life at that time. And we got $100 a day per diem. Per diem.
Spent it all. On what?
Oysters.
Oysters, yes.
I was going.
She was living.
I kind of thought, and I've always had the attitude of, I might be dead tomorrow, so I have to live today.
That's what I live by as well.
So, no, we're the same person. You're the same person. Yeah, I would, on a 2-show day, I would take myself off to Grand Central Station and go to the Pudding Oyster Bar. And I'd sit and go down the menu and have a glass of champagne and then go back and do the next show.
It was Macbeth, right?
It was Macbeth with Patrick Stewart, yes.
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, he was the most amazing job. Stand ovations every night. And during the curtain call, I stood next to Patrick. So you're Patrick and I'm on his left. Kate Fleetwood, Lady Macbeth, was on the other side, and I'm this side. I was one of the witches. But it felt like I couldn't have been more centre if I was fucking Patrick himself. I all that cheering and energy, and I'm like, hi. It was amazing. And I drank it all. I spent it all on clothes that I never wore. It was just, I had to buy extra suitcases to come back from New York. All of this stuff that never saw the light of day.
Did you ever say, beam me up, Patrick? Oh.
No, he has to say, make it so.
Did you say what? Make it so?
Make it so. Oh. That's his thing.
Was that his thing on Star Trek?
From Star Trek.
So he's gay, right?
No!
I always feel like he gives a gay vibe. Now, I know he's Bezzy. Ian McKellen is his Bezzy.
Serena. Yeah.
But I don't know. I always, I get a bit of like...
It's just because he's such a thesp.
Yeah.
He's just such a thesp.
I got hair, man. Love you. Thank you, girl.
Dunno.
Yeah. What have you learned from the queer community?
Oh my God. Permission to be yourself. Permission to be loud. Permission to be everything.
No. And if you had advice for your twin, what would you say to her?
I don't think I could handle having a twin.
No, I couldn't.
Well, I mean, are you my twin?
I think you are.
I think you are my twin.
You know what? I was thinking about this before you came on, like, because you flew specially over for this, so she's Niamh is one of my best friends. She's very, very dear to me. So thank you for coming all this way. I love you. And I was thinking that you are like my twin flame. Very similar in so many ways.
It was love at first sight.
It was
when you burst into my house to do to view one of the bedrooms. It was love at first sight because you had like a Little Mermaid tattoo, and I was like, "Hello, here we go. What is this? What is this? What is this? What is this? Yeah.
What is this?"
And then my friends were like, Tanya, our mutual friend, was like, "Oh, Niamh, when we were dancing at a bar at Wilderness, she just went, oh my God, Niamh, you've been out Niamhed." And I went, I'm okay with that.
We had a
because
ball.
Fucking wow.
That was so fun at Wilderness, wasn't it? I was like DJ, Wilderness Festival in
Cornbury Park.
Cornbury Park, yeah. Scored Oxfordshire, beautiful. And I was DJing, And I mean, how many people? Thousands, but I'm not sure how many. And it was that, and I decided it was all very serious in there, like really like cool music. And I was like, this will not do it all. Everyone looked so bored. So I was like, what can I open with? So I opened with Total Eclipse of the Heart, the whole place. I just had the mic with that from that moment on.
You also did a lot of Irish dance.
Up on the
Say
Sail of It.
Yeah. Sail of It, and was Irish dancing on the bar, and it was absolutely. I was besotted. I was like, wow, yeah.
Irish dance at your wedding.
You Irish danced at my wedding. Yes, we also danced to the hand jive at my wedding, and I think there's video footage of me jumping on you and then us collapsing into the sand because when you with such force, you dropped me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it wasn't that bad.
No, but you know what though?
It was like a hurricane was coming at you fast.
Oh no, it wasn't. I blame those Irish boys at your wedding because they're like, hey, or like probably like barely. They're all an absolute hoot, gorgeous, lovely men. You gotta have the whiskey and the water, and I was like, whiskey and water. I was like, what's that? And she was like, oh, it's a drink. Give me it. I mean, that is lethal because
rocket fuels.
Yes, I'm a skinny legend, darling. I had a few of those babes, and I was like on my back. Crying in the girls' toilets, like having an emotional meltdown. But then,
and then 2 minutes back in the dance floor, we heard the music change. Boom.
Well, yeah, you got to pull yourself together for your girls. Absolutely, and we had fun those days. You were so beautiful. Yeah.
Okay. My wedding was a good day. It's a good day.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And the lovely husband.
He's all right.
He's sexy tash
with his moustache.
And we're actually about tonight, aren't we, for a wiggle?
We are.
We are. Yes. For you're gonna go out for my farewell London ball. That's why you're also here. No, don't do that because your makeup is gorgeous. And
we already had a cry at yoga earlier.
We did.
Yeah. One of the things I missed the most about living in London was, having a little drizzled on Broadway marking with you.
I loved that as well.
Having a pretentious coffee and
I love
fucking cool. Which was so cool.
No, listen. I am going to take that whole thing about pretentious coffee. I'm sorry if you drink Nescafe and you've got no taste, no values, and
but it was coconut oil coffee. What were we having? They were like
bulletproof coffee. And they put a bit of thing and a thing. I love all that.
It was the price of a friggin' gin and tonic just for a bit of coffee.
But I'd rather have that than a G&T. Do you know what I mean? Oh, G's, they're disgusting, horrible things. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta love is something what you like.
Yeah.
Listen, there's nothing wrong with having taste, Mom.
You're quite right. So
but
I take that back. I take it back.
People do think it's pretentious. People would say that we are borderline hipsters. Me definitely, live in Hackney and what have you. But also it's like, but also it's like, the judgment of it all. Who cares?
I know.
I'm sorry that you're not living your best avocado and toast life.
I know.
So, but mind your business, bitch. Okay?
Yeah, man. I shouldn't have used the word pretentious now because I completely agree. Like, don't take away people's joy. If they like what they like. But I think it's that I really enjoyed that feeling, like that I was being pretentious. I really, really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that because, again, like I said, I was, we were raised, to just head down, be basically fucking invisible. Yeah. And here we are. We were just being really extra. And it was joy from there.
I was dragged up, girl, as you know, and, when I came down to London, it was like I was making myself a pot noodle and I would have a Nescafe and what have you. But since then, I have been lucky enough to have culture in my life. And I had a jack potato with caviar the other day. Kathy Hilton's favourite snack. Babes, you have to try this.
Potatoes, Irish person, yes. Caviar,
I'm going to take you for it.
I remained a bit convinced.
I will convince you.
There's finger to me, babes.
Oh, no. Although I'm off the prawns.
Yes, you are. Yeah. Quite rightly.
Yeah, I had a dream about them.
Oh, babe.
Babes. I had dim sum. And I'm vegan-ish. I'm vegan 95% of the time. Occasionally I treat myself to a little bit just occasionally. And then I taught 5 yoga classes that day. And at the end of it, I felt like my Kundalini was rising, which is another very pretentious spiritual thing if you don't know, but it is rooted in history and lots of wisdom. And it could have just also been lots of endorphins from all the exercise. Who knows? But I was off my chops. Anyway, got home and the hubby had a bit of a bad day, so ordered some dim sum. But they were all right. I would have preferred some pak choy, if I'm honest. And they were prawn. Then I went to sleep.
I love prawns. Oh my
Girl, I had nightmares for hours about these prawns. These prawns all had personalities. They were talking.
Oh.
And then I saw all the different ways that they are killed. So frozen to death, boiled, having their eyes put out. And I woke up and I was like, what is going on? And then so I Googled it to see what happens to prawns, and it was all correct. So I think my chakras were too open or something, and I connected to the prawns and like some weird like prawn multiverse.
Prawn transmission.
So I'm off the prawns, I'm off the fish. I go, you know, just give me some like lentils.
I once, this is gross.
Oh God, share it.
Back when I was in Holby City, and that's not like a name drop to Holby City, but this is where this happened. We had dressing rooms that had little fridges in them. And I used to love prawns, and I would have gone to Marks and Spencer's. Like, I would still, like, I live in the countryside now, and if I'm in any kind of civilization with Marks and Spencer's, run in and I get myself
an M&S prawn.
a fucking prawn cocktail. I am right in there. Down those 3 corners. So, but this was like a little, like a little, like not the prawns and garlic. There was like a little packet of prawns and veg, and there it was. And I left it in the little fridge, the little small fridge in the dressing room. And then I had like a few weeks off work. And so I don't know how long I was off work, but anyway, I felt like maybe it might have been 3 weeks. And I went back into work, and I mean, I'm not diagnosed, but who knows? Strong ADHD tendencies here anyway. But like, I wouldn't even have looked in the fridge. By the time I looked in the fridge, and I thought, oh God, there's prawns in the fridge. I'll never forget this. I took the little packet out of the thing, and there was an entire ecosystem living. I don't mean it wasn't moldy. It was like there were fucking
breathing.
There were little creatures. Creatures.
What do you mean creatures?
I mean,
lice.
Do you understand?
Like maggots?
Do you understand what I mean? So these are the little small, thin, flat packets, and the underneath of it is black. And the top is the clear cellophane, and it's completely sealed, right? So nothing could have got in. So obviously, it wasn't in the fridge. It was a tiny little fridge. It probably wasn't even very cold. So whatever was happening was creating the right environment that whatever little, I don't know, whatever little microbiomes, little microorganisms that were maybe like that would have been maybe
maggots.
They weren't maggots. They were literally, it was, but I could, look, I looked at it. It was moving. It was writing. There were things, multiple different kinds of wishes in there. And I was
this is turning my stomach.
Well, that did put me off eating prawns for a very, very long time.
Because they filter all the shit. And
they do filter all the shit. Honestly, it sounds like I'm making that up, but I'm not. You could maybe...
No, I believe you.
You could take some prawns and put them somewhere non-brilliantly refrigerated for like a month and see if that happens, but...
What, they like build their own little like prawn land?
What do you call those glass fucking terrariums?
A prawnarium.
Yeah, it utterly sickened me, and I couldn't eat prawns for the longest time. I do like a prawn now, though, I'm not going to lie to you, but now that you told me that...
Now that you told me that, I'm off the prawns.
I know.
Oh.
I know.
Right, should we go out?
Fucking tasty, though.
No, I'm over them. I would actually rather have, like, broccoli. Like, I love vegetables and lentils and beans and...
I'm too lazy, though. I'm a very lazy... I'm a failed vegan. I'm also a failed vegetarian, because when I was pregnant, I started craving meat like Phoebe from Friends. It was ridiculous. So I'm failed, and I'm good at lots of things, and I'm not that good at cooking, because fuck it, I can't be good at it.
But you can't be good at everything, and also you've got to like have it, like, you know, you're doing a lot of good in the world already.
I want someone to bring me lovely food.
Girl, you saw me last night when I got in from the gig from performing there with a big pack of Monster Mud pickled onion, like with the hummus.
But that was healthy. It wasn't like...
Pickled onion Monster Munch.
Wasn't like battered sausage. It was like...
What'd you call it? Right, I'm ready to go dancing.
Let's go.
Should we go?
Yeah, that was fun.
Did you enjoy it? I love you. You got any advice for the queer there audience at home?
Oh my gosh. Keep being you. Keep being loud, keep being proud, keep being fucking fabulous.
Yeah. Lots of love. Like, comment, subscribe. Be kind to yourself and each other. Mwah! Yay. Love you. Aww. Queer